Today we're going to do a clarity read. So any situation you are looking for more clarity to enter, this reading is going to be for that situation. So it could be on the topic of relationships, it could be on the topic of health, it could be on the topic of career, money, wherever you're looking for more clarity. That's what this is going to focus on. And the way we're going to achieve that is I'm going to pull two cards. And the first card is going to represent the role that you have thought you were supposed to play in the situation. And the second card is going to represent the role that you're actually meant to play. Does that make sense? So here we go. Let's get the first card here. First card, please. First card, please. Ooh, that's too many. I think it might just want to be cut. The deck might want to be cut. Oh, yeah. First card, please. There it is. Second card, please. Second card, please. Okay. So the first card is Nine of Pentacles in reverse, and the second card is Judgment in reverse. So first sense I'm getting is, I read reversals intuitively, and I'm definitely getting the sense that these are not reversed. One reason it being is just that they both came out reversed. That's not always how I read it, but this feels better to me in my bones. So Nine of Pentacles, oh, excuse me, Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles and Judgment. So if you have tuned into my readings before, you know that sometimes the Roman numerals get me. So I apologize for that. Six of Pentacles is the first card. Judgment is the second card. So the first card, once again, represents the role you've been probably trying to play in this situation. This is the role that consciously or unconsciously you thought you were supposed to play. And then the second card represents the role that you are meant to play, meaning if you more and more embody this role, you're going to find solutions, resolutions, movement forward, so on and so forth. The first thing I'm noticing is the pink coming out in this Judgment card, matching my nails, matching these roses, and also this like really cool flower I found in the ditch. Oh my gosh, doesn't that almost feel like this Judgment card? That's wild. So I think what's coming to me intuitively in the moment is just like whatever you're dealing with, there's so much hope for resolution. And just so that's, for whatever reason, that's what this pink and this beauty and excitement is giving me, and a willingness to shift from Six of Pentacles energy to Judgment energy is going to be the key. So with that being said, let's talk about the Six of Pentacles. So Six of Pentacles to me can often represent like a rebalancing happening with the tangible resources of life. So sixes in the tarot to me often can represent some sort of rebalancing happening. Pentacles represent tangible aspects of life, tangible aspects of being human. So this can be like rebalancing of time, labor, money, that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely getting the sense that in this situation where you're looking for more clarity, you thought your role was to try to like get clever with where you're at and do rebalancing. But what Judgment's telling me is that the role that you're actually meant to play in this situation is essentially a call, answering a call to an adventure, answering a call to transform. So it's very notable here that like Six of Pentacles is minor arcana and Judgment is major arcana. Let's peek at the bottom of the deck. What's at the bottom? The Empress. Oh, wow. So now you have two major arcana showing up. The Empress is major arcana. So bottom of the deck to me typically represents the underlying influence of why you're being asked to shift from the role you thought you were supposed to play to the role you are meant to play. And that's clearly to embody Empress energy. Empress energy is kind, precise, clear about who she is, which is wonderful in a clarity reading, right? And is abundant, frankly. Now, I just took a peek at under Empress and is 8 of Pentacles. So isn't that interesting that like we've got 6 of Pentacles here, Major Arcana, then we've got Major Arcana, and then 8 of Pentacles there. So, okay, so let's go back to this call to adventure. So I think what's being said in terms of Major Arcana and Minor Arcana is you've been trying to force something. So rebalancing is a really beautiful thing, but when it's rebalancing through force, or it's trying to rebalance and then resisting a call to transformation and adventure, there's a it doesn't work. It doesn't work, right? And so the way that I interpret Major and Minor Arcana is when Major Arcana is what's up, our choices are more minor and they have more of a minor impact. There's more like divine timing and bigger plans at play. When Minor Arcana shows up, our choices are more major. So in that energy, the choices that we make dictate more of the trajectory of our life. So it looks like you've been kind of trying to bring clarity to the situation, bring movement to the situation, bring resolution to the situation, assuming that you're like in a Minor Arcana energy, so that your choices actually make more of a major impact. But the role that you're meant to play is actually to respond to Major Arcana energy. Does that make sense? So to realize there's something bigger going on, and what is bigger is that there's this call to adventure, a call to transformation, a call to healing that is beautiful and ripe for the plucking for you right now. And the rebalancing that you're trying to do, the 6 of Pentacles energy, is resisting this call. As you more and more surrender to this call, to the Major Arcana energy, then you get to embody the Empress. And let's talk a little bit about the 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles to me means, how do I want to put it into words in this particular reading? 8 of Pentacles means more like putting in the diligent, consistent work to gain momentum in a tangible pentacle sense. So it's different, right? That's different than 6 of Pentacles, which is like trying to rebalance something. And as I'm saying, it kind of feels like a scurrying about to a certain extent, where the Judgment card feels much more grounded, clear, and calm. And I think through that energy, you're going to unlock what is worth it for you to put your effort behind, right? Because right now you're putting your effort behind something that isn't rebalancing, right? And so I think there's not only a surrendering to the bigger picture, to a higher calling, to the whispers of Mother God that's required, but in that, I think there's like this gift. That's what it is. There's a gift in unlocking this Empress energy and unlocking what is worth it for you to invest in, whether that be a relationship, whether that be a health practice, whether that be a creative endeavor, a work endeavor, whether that be like a tangible investment, like a real estate property. You're going to understand more what to put those pentacles behind that's going to pay off for you. Because right now, it feels like a spinning wheel, like a hedonic treadmill. There's like rebalancing trying to happen, but it's not, the energy isn't being directed quite right for that to occur. And that's not your fault. There's no this definitely doesn't feel like any sort of you're not doing it right energy. What really wants to be said is there's just an invitation here to unlock gifts and clarity. I mean, I know this is a clarity reading, so hopefully we'll unlock some clarity, but the Empress, to me, that is sword energy. And when swords are standing straight up in a tarot deck, that's powerful. That's precision. That's precise energy. And so there is, again, this invitation this request to shift into realizing that what is required of you is to respond to judgment energy, to respond to major arcana energy, instead of resisting it through like your own attempts to move things forward. And through that, you unlock the gift of Empress energy and understanding what deserves your investment of time, money, and energy. So it's actually like very exciting. Let's just take a breath to see what resonates and what doesn't. And I guess I partly say that because, or I think I'm feeling called to just wind this up or wrap this up with a breath, because what wants to be said is there's like less here for you to do than you think. There's more like stillness required, deep breathing required to understand what it means to respond to judgment energy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like the difficult part of this reading in terms of like, it's a clarity reading, right? So it can be nice sometimes to have some like clear, tangible action steps. Do you know what I mean? But when your advice is to go from the role of trying to rebalance everything and move things around to responding, recognizing major arcana energy, recognizing and responding to that, there isn't so much to do, and it is more about being, which sounds so cliche. But I think in this reading, that's very accurate. And so I think the more that you can do, I say just be, and then I say the more you can do. But I'm trying to give you some tangible action steps here. I think what wants to come through is just the more you can do to feel grounded and present. So literally maybe like sitting on the earth, like literally grounding. So taking your shoes and socks off and walking on the earth. Anytime you can bring your attention back to your body and your breath. All of that, although it seems subtle and like it's not the busyness of the Six of Pentacles trying to make things work. It's going to be the energy that unlocks more clarity in this situation. And again, that leads to this beautiful Empress energy and the clarity of what is worth you investing in. And so I think if I have some tangible action steps to leave you with, it would be the more you can ground, sprinkle in stillness, the more you can take deep breaths, sometimes maybe even like putting your hand on your heart, anything like that. Or you know what's coming to me? Louise Hay, she wrote a book called You Can Heal Your Life. And she says that the energy center of change is your throat. And so her recommendation is often to put your hand on your throat and say, I am willing to change. I think that would be a powerful practice for you moving forward if this is resonating, because again, the Judgment card, there's a willingness to accept the call to adventure. There's a willingness to, instead of staying where you're at and trying to rebalance something, to accept that you're being called to change, to transform. And so when we don't know how to do that, that's okay. That's a natural part of the process. So then our tangible action step is to express our willingness, to build our willingness to change. And so I think I'm going to leave you with that. I think a tangible action step is whenever it feels right, put your hand on your throat and say, if possible out loud, I am willing to change. I am willing to change. I am willing to change.